Welcome to the Selah podcast where we pause, reflect, and grow. My name is Tay, and I am blessed to still be your host, still be hosting, still be recording, still be potting, whatever you want to call it. I'm still blessed to be here. Welcome, new listeners. Welcome back to the Selah family. Everybody who's a part of the Selah family, whether I know you or not, welcome back and welcome to my new listeners. Hopefully, I say something to jolt your way of thinking. Hopefully, I challenge your perspective. Hopefully, I say something encouraging, or hopefully, it's just a good podcast for you to listen to. Here, we focus on pause, reflecting, and growing. This podcast is all about growth, and I'm just very honest and authentic about just where I'm at in life. So yeah, welcome. We normally do things in decency and in order, but lately I just been getting on here, saying my little 2 cents, and that be it, right? Hoping that I leave something on this podcast worth talking about with your peers, or just leave you with something to think about, hopefully encouraging you to grow as well. So welcome. Today is September 6th. So we are coming up on, what's this? Let me see. Let me make sure I say this right. Let me look it up. Let me go to the app. One second, family. Yes, so we are coming up on a Selah anniversary. I started this October 9th, to be exact, October 9th, 2023. So we are about to come up on our 3rd year. Where's my clap? Hold on, friends. Hold on. Right. Applaud. Um, we are coming up on year 3 of the podcast. And this whole journey has been one that has challenged me. It has taught me a lot of things about myself. It has just held me accountable. Because, you can say you're going to do something, but when you release it in the atmosphere, you got to stay true to that thing, right? Whether it's before God, whether it's before your peers, or just releasing in the atmosphere, excuse me. You got to be held accountable to the things that you talk about and the things that you say. So this podcast has truly taught me so much about myself. Not only that, it has assisted in my journey of growth. And to my knowledge, it has helped assisted some others in their journey of growth, or just their journey of realization, becoming aware. So I'm grateful that I'm still able to do this through every up and every down, through life just life. And I say all the time, listen, I'm in my 20s and life be lifing, but I'm still here and I'm still blessed to be able to record and to just release, what I say is my 2 cents, but I really take this seriously. I'm really careful about what it is I release on the airways. I'm not just coming on here just to talk about anything. Having a podcast right now is the move, just like having your own lash company, or everybody got their own version of similar things. But I do want you guys to know that I do put a lot of thought into what it is I talk about. I even pray about it daily, because I just want to be careful about the things that I'm releasing, and also that it is helping someone. When I first started, I always was like, okay, what's the topics that's going to draw people? You know what I'm saying? Like, I was just like, I want to talk about what I want to talk about, but I want to have a balance of, let me talk about what's going on. But really, I found out that really didn't work for me. I found out I needed to stay true to self and to really talk about what was on my heart, to talk about what I prayed to talk about. And it's crazy how it all, in some kind of way, is just a big reflection journey for myself. So it's just one of them situations where you can't talk to someone about a place they're in if you haven't walked through it yourself, or not walking through it, right? So I find myself being relatable because I'm just authentically myself. So I do want you guys to know I do take time and effort when I think about topics or just, figure out what it is I'm talking about. Hopefully I'm not rambling. I have a tendency to do that. But yes, we are coming up on year 3 and I'm excited. Excuse me, for about I'm sorry. I feel like I'm just stumbling over my words. This is what happens when you don't do what you're supposed to do as often as you're supposed to do it, right? Whether it's because of you or because of life, because of work, whatever. This is just what happens. Okay? So y'all excuse me if it's a little bit of stuttering, a little bit of stumbling, but we're going to get through it. But yeah, this is what happens. I am excited about what's to come for Selah. I've been in conversation about just what I want it to be. I want it to show some kind of growth, some kind of evolvement, even in how I handle it personally, even just schedule wise. This is year 3. All right. This is another year. God is keeping me here for a reason. So I got to make sure I show him that I'm grateful to be here and that I'm going to work on it, right? Faith without actions is dead. So I gotta, keep working towards better, doing better, being better for my podcast, for myself too, but for my podcast. But I'm excited about what's to come. I'm excited about just what conversations are going to be had. I don't even know what conversations are going to be had right now, but I just know they're going to be good. Okay. They're going to be good. So let's get right into the pod. So normally I do a icebreaker question. I don't have one today. We just gonna get right into it. And I normally do a segment where I talk about what I've been listening to. And let me go to my music app. What have I been listening to? I've been listening to a little bit of everything. And when I say a little bit of everything, I'm saying different artists because I'm the type of person that listens to the same thing. I'm gonna wear it out until I'm done. Right. So right now, Jason Nelson forever been keeping me. Forever is a long time. That's how long I'll love you. That's how long I'll love you. Forever. That's my song. That is my song. And it's crazy because I was having a dream, or I think I was singing it in my sleep one day, and I kept trying to figure out what song is this? And then I remembered. So I've been listening to that. I've been listening to Kalante. Thank you, Jesus, for all you've done. That's because I just been grateful. I just been grateful, y'all. I just been grateful because things really could be another way in life, and I've just really been trying to lean on to God's unchanging hand because life wearing me out, work wearing me out. I'm wearing myself out at this point. But God is good. All the time, all the time, God is good. What else have I been listening to? I've been listening to Jordan Welch, her whole one album, the whole thing. I've been listening to Deion Kippin. I've been listening to Psalmist Rain. I've been listening to Kim Burrell. I've been on a worship kick, okay? Honestly, that's why I said, like, I've been listening to those same songs, but it's been worship for my listeners who are not followers of Jesus Christ. Yeah, it's worship, it's gospel, it's Christian music, because that's just really the headspace I've been in lately. Even though y'all know I love me a good R&B, I love me a good oldie but goodie. On a good day, I love me a little rock song, and I love me a good little contemporary or whatever I be listening to. I love me a good reggae. I listen to a little bit of everything, but that's just where I've been at because it's what's been sustaining me these past couple of months, to be honest, because I really could be crashing out about a lot of things. I really could just give up, but I know that I needed to be rooted in my faith. So that's just where I've been. That's what I've been listening to. And yeah, let's get to the pod. Let's get to the pod. So if I had to name this season of my life, I would definitely title it Becoming. Right. These past 2 to 3 episodes, I feel like I've shared just where I've been in life and the different things I've been trying to work through, whether that has been uh, grief, whether that has been me trying to just figure out life in general, whether that's me just trying to encourage myself to keep rising to the occasion, even when I feel inadequate. Like, there's just a couple of things I've been hitting on these past 2 to 3 episodes, and it's all a part of me becoming, right? becoming who I am. And it wasn't until recently I just figured out, I had a realization, an epiphany, a light bulb came on that it's just been an inward fight, right? Within myself, like a mental battle. Like there's just been a fight against accepting who I'm becoming and just releasing who I thought I should have been. Because let's be real, y'all, we feel like we got everything figured out and we know just exactly how life is going to go, how we want it to go. And then we get to the present time and it's like, that's not happening, right? That's just not the case. And it all boils down to me trying to be controlling. I have a hard time with control. And I did not realize how bad it was until I really just started looking at the things that I do, the practices that I have. Like, I can't in one breath say, oh, I'm trusting God. And I'm like, hold on, God, I didn't want you to do that. I didn't want you to, clock my tea like that. But he did anyway. So it all boils down to me being controlling. And we just all know that we can't control everything in our lives. We hear people all the time say, control what you can control and worry about everything else later. And let's be honest, let's be real. I'm going to raise my hand first. I could say that all day. And some days I really do try, but most times I am trying to control the situation, right? I really do. So that's just where I've been. I've been trying to figure out, or I'm in the process of releasing who I thought I should have been and accepting who I'm becoming. There are a lot of factors that take place in how we just envision ourselves, right? How we set goals. I was about to say goal set, but set goals and plan life, right? Like things like childhood dreams, right? For me, I wanted to live in Atlanta. I wanted to have a specific car at a specific, age. I wanted to be good in my career by now. Like, I wanted to be a doctor, all that. Things like family expectations play a way in how we envision ourselves. Like in my family, how do I explain this? In my family, listen, we expect you to, and I say we because I feel like I've played into this. We expect you to do something. We expect you to try and not just sit and do whatever, right? We expect you to try and to move on intention. Um, really emphasis on the try because we know that life is not perfect. But if you make a conscious decision to do good, to be good, then all will be well. Or like another expectation is just our faith, right? Like where I should be in my faith could have, where I envisioned myself being in my faith affected just how I've envisioned myself, if that makes sense. What else oh, society, right? The expectations of society can affect how we just have envisioned ourselves, right? What we thought we were going to be. Like, I thought I was going to be a young little black girl doing her thing. And to an extent, I am. But to society standards, like having my own place, just doing things on my own. And I'm independent, but I'm not fully independent. I can say that, right? That's just not the case. Like, I need a little help, and that's all right. That's all right. So, and other things, play a factor in how we envision ourselves. And around like 19, I think I was 19 or 20, I just realized life really doesn't work the way that we think it should, right? Life doesn't work with just what you say all the time. For example, like before I went to college, like I said, I wanted to be a doctor. All of my life, I wanted to be a doctor. I was strong with it, y'all. And I love my family because they not played, but they supported what I said I wanted to do. Like there was heavy support on both ends of my family, mom's side and dad's side. Like it was and I don't even want to say it like this. How do I explain this? Like they just understood because it was something that I always wanted to do, right? I always said I wanted to be a doctor. So I remember my aunt, she got me a coloring book because I like to color, still do. It's good. It's very therapeutic. You should try it. I like to color, and she got me this book that was just all about the body, the bodily systems, just from the bones, y'all, to the nerves, to the muscle, to the brain, to the foot, to the hand, to the back. It was a whole book about the body, and it was a coloring book, and I used to really like read it. I used to really color, really try to pay attention to it. Now, if you ask me today about that book, what it said exactly, no, I don't know. I don't, so don't even ask me. Um, my on my dad's side, it was just like a constant conversation. Oh, how is it going? Like even when I went to school, what is the path look like to you becoming a doctor? That was a constant conversation for me, even in my immediate family, because they knew like I wanted to be a doctor. Then it was along with me wanting to be a doctor. Well, I want to learn how to cure HIV and AIDS, because you start seeing stuff, you start feeling bad. Like, nah, ain't no way you can get these diseases and ain't no cure for none of them. No, no way. Right? Then it was just I wanted to be a trauma surgeon. Yeah, I wanted to just be in the medical field. And then it was a thing where, I seen a lot of health problems within my family, within the bloodline, excuse me, of my family, and I wanted to be a part of the solution. So a part of me wanting to be a doctor was also me wanting to be a helping hand. I've always been someone who has always wanted to be helpful in some type of way, shape, or form. And so I was just really like, I'm doing this. Bio pre-med, that's me. And my sister was like, she used to always tell me, my older sister, Tosh, she always used to be like, you're going to go to school and you may not stick with that, or just not even that, just how I thought I would be socially. I'd be like, no, I'm not dealing with this. I'm not dealing with that. And she used to be like, you don't know. You never know. Did I pay attention as a child? No. I heard her. I took her for what she said, but it was just like my mind was made up. I got to school and I tried to rock out for like the first semester. And then the second semester came and I was like, yeah, no, I don't want to do this. And it took me a while to even just admit I did not want to do it, because I just was battling like inwardly, because I've told you how I can be an overthinker. Um, and at one point I was like, I don't want to just switch majors because I don't want nobody to think this was too hard for me, if that makes sense. Like I felt like it was too hard, so I took an easier route. And that wasn't the case. It just simply was not interesting me like I thought it would. Like I literally would go to class like I'm just here because my parents are paying for this. And also I want to be in college, but this is just not it. Then I start thinking about like, is this something I want to do in the long run? Like, this wasn't a conversation within self that I had overnight and said, yeah, I'm switching majors. No, it wasn't. It was just like, I really don't see myself doing this. I really don't. It just wasn't catching my attention like it was, like I thought it was. It just wasn't my vibe. I felt out of place. I was frustrated with the work. I was frustrated with me just trying to understand sometimes. And I know like you don't get too deep into it your freshman year. And I'm glad that I was exposed to certain things. Like I will say like my professors at school, no matter what major you in, for the most part, from what I've heard and what I've experienced, they give you the real just about their career path and like the way they took and the way they know of what you're trying to do. And just based off the conversations and just based off my vibe, what I got in the classroom, the work and all these other things, I realized that was just not for me. It really wasn't for me. And then I also battled because I'm one of them people who felt like if I say I'm big on keeping my word with myself, keeping my word with other people. Like if I tell you I'm gonna do something, I'm going to do it. And I feel horrible if I cannot. Even if I don't tell you, ask me for help. I'm one of the people who feel so bad if I cannot help you, to the point I'm gonna try to find somebody who can. Right? Sorry, it was a sidebar. But I felt like I was dealing with some guilt because I was like, I done told all these people I'm gonna go to school and I'm gonna do this. I want to be a doctor. I'm gonna be helpful in all this, in all these ways. Like y'all just talking. And then it was a thing of like, I never really prayed. And as a child, you don't know to do it. But as you get older, you understand the importance of being rooted in your faith and understanding following the path that's for you. So I had this realization like, I need to pray and ask God, is this really the field that I should be in? Is this where He wants to use me, right? Um, and I just found out, no, it wasn't. It was not. It was not. Um, and I found out that psychology is what really not just piqued my interest, but I really believe and I know that it is the path for me. It is the career for me. Being a therapist. And it's crazy because even with that, I understood like there's some things in my family. I said, yeah, we need some therapy. Like it was like same with me wanting to be a doctor, like wanting to be a helping hand with health. In this case, I wanted to be a helping hand in mental health. Um, and I just was accepting all that psychology taught me, all of the relationships it came with, all the lessons, all the experiences that it came with. Like it was a challenge as well too, but when you find what's for you, it's for you. Just as simple as that. And so that is just one example or instance where I would just try to go against what I was growing into versus the limitation I set on myself, right? Because I wasn't looking at anything else if it wasn't bio pre-med, if it didn't signify going to medical school, if it did not signify me becoming a doctor, right? Um, I just went against it because that's not what I said. I set this limit on myself. I put this boundary around me like I'm going to be a doctor and that's that. So those are just one of the instances where I truly just was trying to go against what I was growing into and what I was meant to grow into, right? But I will say there was such a freedom in me changing majors. And this could sound so minor to y'all because you like talking about a major in school, but y'all don't understand the I told y'all I can be a overthinker at times because I'm trying to get in the habit of not claiming that. I could be an overthinking at times, and I went back and forth with myself, like I don't want to change majors, I don't want to do this. Then it was like I'm gonna have to take certain classes over. This is added on. The biggest thing people think about with change is time. I'm like I done wasted all this time trying to get in these classes, go to these classes, and I really could have been on another path to psychology, right? But it was just such a freedom. I wasn't as frustrated. I didn't feel confused. I didn't feel out of place anymore. Like there was such a calm and a peace just from me making the decision to change majors, right? I just learned that I had to let go of an outdated version of myself. Imagine for years, doctor, 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 doctor. Get to school, no. I had to learn to really just let go of this outdated version of myself because it honestly was just keeping me in a cycle of feeling like a failure. If I want to be real, when I was in that major, and I'm not saying like I was not capable of doing the work because I believe that I was, right? I was able to do the work. I was able to comprehend and understand. I believe now it's a lot of math and science involved in that, and math and science. So I was going to need some assistance, but I was capable, right? But I felt like a failure in it. I don't know no other better way to explain it to y'all, but I felt like a failure. I felt like I was failing to the point I really start failing, like for real. Like I really just was like, I don't want to do this. And then with that and whatever emotional wave I was on then, I really was like, I'm telling you, college is humbling. It's fun, but you learn, it get real because you by yourself, right? Like I have family that I talked to constantly while I was in college, but it got real for me in that moment and even in then, I realized I don't handle change too well, right? And this is a position I put myself in. Hello? I signed up to be a bio pre-med student. I put these limitations on myself, right? So I honestly just felt like I was keeping myself in a cycle of failure every day, getting up, getting dressed to go to class. Um, I just felt like something was missing altogether, right? And that just didn't apply in college. Like, I've had different points in my life, or just even in relationship, like I realized this ain't for you. Whether it's a friendship, whether it's a romantic interest, it just wasn't for me. Hell, if I want to be honest, family members, this ain't for me, right? This ain't what I thought it was going to be. This is not what I wanted it to be. And so I'm just learning to let go of what I thought was going to be, or what I wanted to be, right? So I just went through a shedding process, and I feel like right now in life, I am going through that shedding process, right? Because right about now, I'm 24, and I really felt like, let me tell you where I thought I was going to be, or where I would have wanted to be. 24, I wanted right about now to be, I have a car, but just in another car, probably in my dream car, right? Um, and this is just based off what I tried to set in stone for myself in my earlier years. I'm good in my career, right? Like, I have been in the master's program, or I'm about to finish. I'm not living home. I'm in my own space. I'm in my own apartment. I'm moved out of state. When I said I'm not living home, I have moved out of state at this point. I'm traveling when I want to travel. Not too much, but it's like, oh, if I want to go here, I can go here. I'm not in debt. Like, I am very responsible. I'm very disciplined with my money, with my health, with everything. Sound real perfect, don't it? And I knew life wouldn't be perfect, but I was really big on certain things, like, you know how people idolize and glorify marriage, family, and kids? That's not my story. And even me saying this, thank you. This is even me saying this is me realizing where I went wrong, because I just started to idolize something that I just shouldn't have been idolizing. I idolized, and I can admit that, my career. I idolized traveling. I wanted to be the rich auntie, and I still do want to be the rich auntie. But I was so gun ho and focused on those things, not realizing, even in the times that I did have life lessons, like, it's just not going to go that way. Right now, life is good, because it could be horrible. I'm not saying this in a ungrateful approach, right? I'm just saying I am not where I thought I would have been. If you would have asked me a month ago, I'm not where I should be, right? Like, but I know now I'm making strides to the right things for me. What is right for me, right? What else? Right about now, I would not be in church. I would not be like mentioning God to the degree that I do now. Like, it wasn't giving none of that, y'all. It was really giving grow up, be grown, and do what you want to do when you want to do it, but have a good career and travel, right? That's really what it was giving for me. Not really being around my family, just really like, I love y'all, I see y'all, I'm in contact, but I'm not really around y'all. Like, it really gave that. That's where I thought I would be in life right about now. And that is definitely not the case. I can tell you right now, me being disciplined with my money is not the case. I am learning, because I really did I adulted yesterday. I adulted this weekend, even just by saying no. Um, because like, I can't even get into that. But I had to say no to a situation, and I had to make the decision to save my coin, right? And not give it to somebody else because they family, and it's just like, I'm gonna give it to you, right? Um I adulted and taken care of a specific bill, two bills that I'd really just been shrugging off. Like, I'm not disciplined. I'm not as disciplined as I want to be with my money, but I'm doing better. As of yesterday, yes, I'm doing better. Um, I'm really not as disciplined as I would like to be in anything, to be honest. Um, I do well with work, but it's not the job that I want to be at. Not just because of where it's at, but it's literally not the place for me. I did not go get a degree to be somebody's assistant admin, right? Love my job. I love what I do. I don't like the environment, but it's a job, right? It's a paying job, and I'm grateful because it does help me make ends meet. It does help me live my life. What I want to a sense, I do what I want to do, right? It's not the way that I would have wanted it to. I'm in church, y'all. Not every Sunday, but I'm in church. There's a relationship with God that I'm working on, and I swore up and down that this was not the case. I was really going to run from God. I really did want to be a part of church. I ain't want to do none of that. And y'all, God said, "Ha, you got jokes. Guess where I'm at? In his presence." Amen. So it's just, I don't even want to keep going down the drain or keep listing the things like I, I, I'm not who I thought I was going to be. And that is okay. I want you to know that if you are not the person you set out to be, it is okay. Right? And I'm speaking to the people like me who would constantly compare, who are so goal oriented that it's unhealthy in a sense, because if you keep reminding yourself you're a failure or you're failing at things, then you are just condemning yourself to just this small perspective of thinking, right? This small view of life. And just let it go. Let go of the person you thought you was going to be. Let it go. Because there is so much bondage in that. It's so much limited like living in it. There's no freedom in it because you're trying to control what you think should be. Like I told you in the beginning, this all boiled down to me wanting to be in control. And I had to learn that it's just not how life works. That's what's not going to work for me. There is freedom in release. That's why the word is release. It's a time of breathing. It's a time of inhaling and exhaling. It's a time of just no boundaries, no limits, no negativity, no darkness. It's light. It's a release. It's freedom. It's what do we say? You know how people say you're a breath of fresh air. Like it's ease, right? I'm not saying that once you stop trying to control your life or your situation that things will just be easy. That's not the case because life is challenging in itself. But I do know for me, if I only compared my life to the person I thought I would be, I would have missed the beauty in just who I'm becoming. I would have missed out on experiences. I would have missed out on relationships. I would have missed out on needed lessons that have assisted me with building my character, building who I'm becoming. And I love who I'm becoming. I will say that no matter, and I don't want you guys to take what I'm saying the wrong way. Or like I said, I'm not saying this in an ungrateful approach, but I don't know where I would be had I stuck to what I thought I should be. I don't know what I would have been creating had I stuck with who I should be. Like you heard me say, I really wasn't around my family. I probably would be walking around in unforgiveness. I probably would be walking around in bitterness. I probably would be walking around in loneliness, self obtained loneliness. Like, love my family down. But everybody knows sometimes you really don't want to be around your family. I need some space. And I wanted to build space, a lot of space. Like I wanted to put limits on how I love them and how I believe I should have loved them. Right. And I see my family all the time. Not as much as I probably used to, but we see each other. Right. There's constant communication. There's constant contact. I know I had to stop comparing myself to the limits I put on myself, if that makes sense. Like, I hope I'm wording this right for you guys to understand. We have to accept who we are becoming. And I'm saying we because this is a constant practice. I am accepting that I have just grown. out of behaviors. I've grown out of a certain mindset. I've even grown out of specific relationships that I don't even want to admit that I have, but I have. Like, and I'm not going to lie, growing hurts because it's uncomfortable, right? For instance, in friendships, oh, we gonna travel, we gonna do this, that, and the third together. You gonna be my child's godchild, not me, God forbid. But these are the things that are talked about. And then you grow up, and it's no bad blood, it's no nothing. It's just that this friendship no longer serves you because you just have grown out of it. Not that you're bigger than the person, not that you're better than the person, than the other friend, but you have just simply grown out of that friendship. That friendship served a version of you that you are no longer. Again, like I said, an outdated version of yourself. When you don't just grow with age, right? Your mindset has to change. Your actions have to change. Your emotional intelligence has to change as you get older, and that is okay. It hurts like hell and it's uncomfortable, but you have to accept who you are becoming. And if you are someone who may be listening to this and you are becoming the opposite of the good that you expected, then you need to go back and we all need to self-reflect, but you need to go back and do self-reflection. I mean it from, oh, I never thought I would be smoking weed, this, that, and the third, but now I'm just on it heavy. Okay. How do we get you off? How do you scale back, right? Now you see who you have become. Now you just need to go back. And if you're not rooted in faith, find you something to do to root you, ground you, so that you can focus on the good things of life, so that you can deal with the reason why you're smoking, right? And this is just an example because I know this podcast is about growing, but everybody is not at the same level, right? And I will say something, even that is uncomfortable. Like, you've grown out of a place and you are around people that has not taken that step to just be intentional about growing, right? Be intentional, about being better, right? Even that in itself is uncomfortable because you never want to look like, oh, you doing this now, so now you better. No, it's not the case. It's just that I don't have the patience, the wherewithal to deal with the same things that you're dealing with because I've grown from it. Right. So I'm giving that as an example because I know that becoming, even though like I've shared with where I am and where I thought I should have been, that's not always the case for everyone else, right? Things could be a lot worse, and I'm grateful that they're not. But if they are for you, this is a time to pause, reflect, and grow. Let's look at the ways. And this could just be simply like morally, right? Or just like even with me, discipline. I'm not where I should be on discipline. I'm not. I'm just not. Like, I'm not. Now that's one thing I could be better at, and I should be on that same level with where I should be and who I am now. The discipline should still be discipline. I should still be trying to discipline myself in different ways. But yeah, we have to learn to accept who we are becoming. It's uncomfortable. I know that. I'm telling y'all, I have really been struggling just off relationship wise. I can tell you that for a fact. Like, it's a lot of people I'm just like, I really don't have nothing for you. I love you. I do. And to a certain extent, if they call me now and ask me for something, I'm still probably going to assist. But outside of that, my conversation has changed. My interest has changed. My daggone algorithm on my social media has changed. Like, and I'm fine with that. Now, navigating it, we can get into that in the next episode because that is hard. How do you navigate just change? How do you navigate this step of evolvement, this place of growth? But I will say the first step, I always say the first step is admitting that you are no longer the person you were. You are no longer the person you thought you should have been or that you would be by now. You're not. I'm not. I am accepting that I have changed, that my perspective of just life has changed and what my 20s should look like. It has changed due to my experiences, due to the lessons, like due to relationships. It has changed, and I no longer want to box myself and compare myself to this idolized version that I of myself, right? Like I really thought life was going to be different and it's not, and I'm okay with that. I want you guys to be okay. Learn to be okay with change. Learn to be okay with becoming. Learn to be okay with shedding. This is not something that happens one time in life. I have learned that from school on out. I am constantly in a process of shedding. Constantly. Every time I take a moment to reflect on just my actions, my thoughts, that is a process of shedding because I'm making a decision to just let some things go and grow out of it and leave it where it's at. A snake don't shed his skin and go back for it and just hold on to a piece just in case they want to put that back on. No, I'm done with it, right? I'm learning to accept who I am becoming. I am becoming someone who is patient. I am becoming someone who is kind. I am becoming someone who knows how to love from a healed place. I am becoming someone who is rooted in their faith, rooted in their relationship with God. I am becoming someone who is living life with humility. I'm becoming someone who is disciplined. Yeah. And even in me saying this is who I'm becoming, but I'm also manifesting it. I'm releasing this into the atmosphere that this is who I'm becoming. All these things are true because I'm in the process of learning all these things. But I have to believe that I'm capable of becoming those things at the same time, if that makes sense. Like I am becoming patient, but I have to believe that I can be patient. I am becoming someone who can love from a healed place, but I have to believe I can do that. There has to be some action behind that, right? So this topic, this conversation can go a lot of ways, but I do know, like I say all the time, the first step is admitting. The first step is admitting, and I had to just accept the fact that I needed to release what I thought was going to be my life. I had to let that go. I was wrong for even trying to idolize it. Just wrong. Wrong altogether. To try to idolize something just that wasn't going to be. And with age, you understand that. You understand that you can't control life. You can't control what happens to you all the time, right? But I am accepting that I'm okay with who I'm becoming, and I'm okay with just where God has me right now and where He's going to take me, not to get hella deep for people who are not as deep or just believe or have faith. Yeah. So I really had to just learn to embrace change because that's what it really boils down to, embracing change and releasing. Embracing change and releasing. So let's talk about this in the Selah terms: pause, reflect, and grow, right? How are we going to, or what does it look like when I accept who I'm becoming and release who I thought I should have been, right? How do we do that? So pause. Yeah, I know I'm always going to say we're going to take a breath every time we pause. We're going to inhale and we're going to exhale, right? And then while we pause and we breathing, we're just going to take the time to let go of our expectations. Let them go. Let them go. At this point in life, I expect the unexpected. Like yes, I still set goals. I don't want y'all to be like, oh, you just live a life like just like lead the blind. But no, I expect the unexpected. I still set goals, but at this point, I know I just can't control everything and things just not going to go my way all the time, good or bad, right? Because sometimes things don't go your way, but it happens for the better, right? So take the time to let go of your expectations. Put the expectations and the limits to the side, like who you thought you were going to be, what you thought your career was going to be by now, right? Make space for who you are actually becoming and who you are now. Make space for that person. Don't keep pushing that person, this version of yourself away. Why do you keep y'all, it's like being like, how can I explain this? It's like you wear a 3X, but you are determined to fit yourself in the medium. Now you know that ain't right. Y'all ever seen somebody in a too small shirt and they just look uncomfortable? Yeah, that's the feeling. Make room for the person that you are becoming. Make room for the person that you are. You a 3X, go get the 3X. Sometimes depending on what it is, you could do it too. But make room for the person that you are becoming and who you are. Make space for them. Don't push it away. Embrace it. And I know it's a little uncomfortable because I really had to be like, Tay, you're not at that place no more. Like, let it go. Embrace this change, right? Reflect. Accept this new stage of growth. You hear me? Of growth. Accept this new stage of growth. Yes, it looks different. Yes, it feels different. Like I said, it's uncomfortable. It is challenging. It's all up in your face. It's all up in your business. It's clocking your tea. But accept it. Accept this new stage of growth, right? But also, as you accept just this new stage, accept the fact that this means that you are evolving. Like, you're really growing, and that's okay. That's the point of life. Who wants to stay stuck in the same mindset, in the same pattern of behavior? Because then that's how you lose your sense of self. You just going day to day stuck. Trying to figure it out. You feel like you're trying to figure it out, but you're stuck. This is why you can have constant conversations about where you want to be and you never get there because you're stuck. Accept this new stage of growth. Accept the fact that you are growing and it's okay. And I'm saying it's okay. And I'm taking that for myself because I know growth can growth can be perceived offensively to the wrong person. Right. For example, like I said with friendships, outgrown friendships, but to certain friends or certain people that were once my friend, that can become, they just get offended by it. But really, I just outgrown you. I've outgrown our friendship, and that's okay. I still love you. We can love each other from a distance. But if you be honest, neither one of us are serving each other as friends. It ain't just one sided, it's both sided. If I feel like you no longer serve me as a friend, what do I look like? Keep trying to serve you as a friend. Best believe. It ain't a tit for tat, but best believe I'm not doing all that I could do. Maybe I'm not the friend for you anymore. There's no maybe. I'm not the friend for you anymore and you're not the friend for me. So that can become an area of offense to somebody, right? But that's okay because it's offensive to them. You know it ain't like that for you. You're growing, you're evolving, you're doing what's best for you, you're doing what God has set out for you. Accept it. It's uncomfortable. I know it is uncomfortable, relationship wise. It's uncomfortable self, just in yourself, how you think wise. You know the conversations you have with yourself. You alive, you can say you don't have no conversation with yourself because you do. It's uncomfortable and it looks different. It doesn't look the way that we think it should look, but it's okay. It is okay. You're growing. You're evolving. You're becoming better. You are. You're becoming better. And that's okay. I want you know how you tell kids, say, I'm okay. I'm okay. I want you to say to yourself, I'm okay. I'm growing. I'm okay. It's all right to grow. Right? And last word, grow. Walk in your new freedom of possibilities. Because when you release, you just open your world. You just open the door to possibility. You open the door to new. You open the door to change. You open the door to just possibilities, limitless possibilities. You have broke the glass ceiling. You broke it. Walk in your new freedom. Like I told y'all, when I changed majors, there was such a freedom in it because I was keeping myself in a place of feeling and being like a failure. I was literally feeling like a failure to the point I began to fail classes. But once I made the decision to just switch majors, and this is just a simple example, once I put some intention behind switching majors, there was such a freedom. College went so differently. I probably, if I didn't do that, y'all, I probably would have dropped out because COVID had hit and everything. I honestly probably would have dropped out of college and I probably would have never went back. Like, let me find me a good job because one thing I'm about it, I'm going to work, and that's that, right? I really could have carried that a different way. So thank God I made the decision to switch. Y'all, there was so much freedom in it. I met so many good people. I was able to heal some things within self. Like there was such a freedom in it. Walk in your new freedom of possibilities, new experiences, new relationships, new lessons. New, right? We shouldn't always focus on what we deem as losses, right? What we deem as failures, but the liberations of life, the freedom of life. It's bad enough we live in a world that there are already limits set against you depending on your race, depending on your gender, depending on your faith, depending on your age sometimes, depending on all kinds of things. Why you gonna play a part of the bondage in the limits set upon yourself? I'm not limiting myself no more. I am learning because I know this is something that I'm actively walking through. And I want to encourage anybody else who is actively walking through it or you right on the brink of it. Accept who you are becoming, accept who you are now, and let go of the person you thought you should have been or you thought you should be. Stop comparing yourself. Comparison, what am I saying, Lord? That is not a word. Comparing or the game of comparison is a dangerous game to play. Whether you're comparing yourself to others or whether you're comparing yourself to an idolized version of yourself, it's a dangerous game to play. Stop putting yourself in that position and just release. Let go of who you thought you should have been or you should be by now. Accept who you are. Accept who you are becoming. It is okay to grow. It is okay to evolve. Make space for your new. Make space for your new. I'm learning how to make space for my new. Okay? So hopefully this little bit of convo was encouraging to you. Hell, I didn't encourage myself just talking this out because, yeah, I make reference points for myself, but I really don't know how it's going to go when I record it. And I have encouraged myself. So hopefully I encouraged you too to just keep going, keep growing, keep evolving. It's uncomfortable. It looks different. It's a challenge, but it's freeing in the same at the same time. It's freeing and you're doing what you're supposed to do. These are just signs that you're doing what you are supposed to do. And if somebody don't like it, that sounds like a personal problem. Take it up with who you want to take it up with. But as for me and my house, we gonna learn to accept who we are becoming and our growth and stop trying to belittle ourselves and limit ourselves to who we think we should be. Or to just not even try to walk in this growth, right? I'm not about to keep trying to dumb myself down or lessen. You know how you go around people you ain't seen in a minute. I'm not about to quiet down my growth. I'm going to walk in that thing and I'm going to walk in it freely. It's going to be hard. It's going to be challenges. It's going to be some up days. It's going to be some down days. And that's all right because I'm becoming. I'm simply becoming. I'm becoming. And I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. I'm saying I'm okay with that because I know it's going to be a day I'm be like, ugh, God, why? I'm going to have to go back and listen to this myself. I'm becoming and I'm okay with that. You are becoming and it's okay. It's all right. So I love y'all. Hopefully this was encouraging in some kind of way. Hopefully I challenge your perspective. Hopefully, it's a conversation you can have with your peers. I think, yeah, next episode, we're going to try to maybe get into how to navigate this step. We'll see. Because I could say this today and we talk about something totally different next episode, but it's on my heart to do. So we'll see. Please, follow the pod on Instagram at Selah_pod. That is SELAH_POD. Again, SELAH_POD. On Instagram, there you will see all content. That's where I'm active the most. All posts. And when I get back to icebreaker questions and even whatever segment I come up with for season 3, you will see that there. That's where you can DM me if you want to ask me a question, if you want to talk a little bit more about the episode, just one-on-one. DM me there. I'm available. I'm there. I'm going to talk about it always. We're going to talk about it. Let's talk about it. You can subscribe to the pod on YouTube at the Selah Podcast. So the THE Selah SELAH Podcast PODCAST. You can subscribe there, turn on the bell notification so you know every time that I post. And yeah, you'll see the green logo with the mic. That's me. The name will come up, probably Tayandra Evans, parenthesis Tay. That's me. So subscribe so you know every time that I post an episode and you can listen there. Tell your mama, tell your daddy, tell your aunt, tell your uncle, tell your friend, tell somebody you don't even really like to tap in with the Selah podcast. Again, y'all, you are becoming and that's okay. I am becoming and that's okay. Hopefully this was I personally like this episode because, like I said, I was encouraging myself. But hopefully I said something to encourage you. I'm excited about what's to come for you, for me, and for the podcast. Yeah, I love y'all. Hopefully I get to hear from y'all, and I will see y'all next episode. Please, what do I always say? Don't ever forget to pause, reflect, and grow. Until next time.